Welcome to day 3. You've made it. Congratulations. Everything we've done so far in the trash can manifestation leading up to this point has been about clearing our path to manifestation. We've removed old energy blocks in our home. We've gotten the trash can operating as sort of an independent battery, also ran in the background, sucking in all of the negative energy that we drop, all of the trash, and it's running behind the scenes, sort of keeping things moving in our home, in our space, in our energy, keeping things clean for us. Yesterday, we did the shave and release practice, where we practice releasing internally while releasing the negative energy and dead skin cells with the salt. And we swung a little bit into appreciation with applying the lotion. And yeah, super powerful practices. They're amazing. Having done those 2 practices over the sequence of the last several days, you are now in a new energetic place. You're a different person than you were 3 days ago. You've had the lived experience of this energetic journey of doing these practices. And if you haven't gotten to them, no worries. You can do them all in one go. You can batch them. They work independently. They also work together as sort of an energetic story arc that's leading you somewhere so juicy and so good. So however you are doing this trash can challenge, you are doing it perfectly. I'm assuming that you're caught up to this point, and if you're not, I trust that you'll totally get caught up and it's going to be in the perfect timing for you. Today, we have a clear path. We've cleared a path to asking for our desires. Now we're getting ready. And like a cat that's like bunched its muscles in preparation to spring on a toy, we're doing the same thing with our manifestations. Tomorrow is the day that we're going to be doing our asking. And remember, you can condense these in any way, time structure, whatever. I've got them spread out over these days because life is busy and we don't necessarily have 3 hours in a day to sit down and do this whole energetic process in one go, especially if we're doing it without support. This way, doing it in little chunks, you can stretch it out over the course of the week and really, really give yourself time to like feel the shift, feel the journey. So now what we're doing today is we are sort of coiling our muscles and getting ready to spring forward into asking for exactly what we desire. We are doing that with appreciation. Now, appreciation is like, it's kind of a foreign concept. In our culture, we reach for the word gratitude much more often. You know, how many times have you heard, have a gratitude journal, get in the energy of gratitude every day, be thankful. Yeah, it's a lovely idea, it's gorgeous, but holy shit, there's a lot of energetic stuff behind that. Like every time somebody asks you to be grateful, there's the, why do I be grateful for what I have when I don't have what I want? Like, whoa, okay, that's pretty hot, that's pretty active. We just spent a whole bunch of time like calming down the hot buttons with all of those release practices. So gratitude, maybe we don't quite want to go there. Or maybe the idea of being grateful calls you back to that uncomfortable Thanksgiving dinner where like everybody had to go around the table and talk about what they were grateful for before you could sit down and like actually eat. And when you do that, what ends up happening, especially if not everybody's on the same page, you wind up with, oh, here are the awful things that happened this year. I'm so grateful that those awful things are over. And what you're doing is you're just inviting all of that energy from that litany of terrible things into this gratitude practice. So gratitude, it can be messy. If you're good at it, rock on, keep going, you've got it, like, yay, awesome, go for it. But like, if there's any of this conflict going on of, I'm so grateful all that horrible stuff is over, I'm grateful for the things that I've had, but why the fuck don't I have the rest of the things that I want? Like, whoa, okay, we can work with that, you and me. Like, let's leave the gratitude people over in their corner. They can be like happy bubble fun people by themselves. And you and me, let's be real. Like, let's be real humans. Sometimes shit fucking sucks. And I'm going to hand you some training wheels today that help you like just sidestep that argument entirely. Leave that for another day, leave that for another problem. And we're going to work with a tool right here that's going to distract your brain from all of that and let you energetically shift into the more powerful idea of appreciation, right? Because appreciation is a lot further removed from all of that like back and forth tension of gratitude. Appreciation is like, it's easier to make it neutral. It's easier to keep it from starting an argument with yourself. So for this, you're going to need a thing. It can be a knick-knack, it can be a tchotchke. I was so excited to record this, I totally forgot to grab one. So I'm going to grab a piece of jewelry because I can reach it. So literally, it does not matter what you're doing this practice with. So my thing for today is a bracelet, like anything will work. So, and actually what we're doing with this practice is sort of starting up an altar practice. So by doing this polish and appreciation practice that I'm about to teach you, you're turning this thing into a mini altar. Now, people think altar and they think, oh, it's a place where I go for spiritual practice and I have to do like the ritual things. And yeah, that can absolutely happen in an altar. But if you strip an altar down to its most basic element, it actually is just a battery for positive energy. Just like your trash can is that vortex that runs in the background and like constantly pulls that sucking in energy of negative energy. And like, once you set it up, it doesn't really need tending anymore. Your altar space, and you can have dozens of them throughout your home or just start with one, whatever works. But your altar is just a thing that like a space that sort of sits there and radiates positivity. Now, okay, so that's the woo explanation of what an altar is. Psychologically, what's going on is it's a place that you've fussed over and made look pretty. And so every time your eyes gaze across it, you've got a subconscious reminder of the pleasure that you had in creating and appreciating and approving of this space. So like, however you look at it, it's amazing. And it's going to raise your vibration. It's going to increase your happiness in your life. So the practice, which can and will potentially eventually lead to altar work, is to take your object in your hands. And just like with the trash can, if you need to clean it, you can sprinkle some salt on it. And the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to start to share our energy with this thing. Just friction. We are transferring the excitement of the molecules in our hands to the molecules in the object that we're polishing, and we are waking up the energy. We're waking up the energy in ourselves. We're waking up our connection to source energy, to the divine, to our inner wisdom, to our subconscious, however you want to think about it. Doesn't matter. They're literally just words. Choose the words that work for you. So now it's a little bit warm from my hands, from the energy. I'm gonna look at it. Which bracelet did I pick? Oh, this is the one from Walt Disney World. So this is me actively doing the practice. I appreciate this bracelet. I love wearing this bracelet because when I wear it, it jingles, and I love listening to the sound of the jingling bracelet because it just makes me feel like glamorous all the time, like I'm a fancy lady wearing jewelry. And this is the Walt Disney World one. I remember the day that I bought it. We were on vacation. Yeah, it was a little expensive and we were like stretching the pennies, but like I did the math and I figured it out and I could afford it. And, you know, it was Christmas when I got it. You know, we were there for the week between Christmas and New Year's, and it was my family, and it was so much fun. And I remember how pretty the lights in the store were when I bought this, and the way that they just like gleamed on all of the merchandise. And it smelled like Disney when I was there. There was like people and crowds and pretty music in the background and like the smell of 3 different amazing restaurants all tantalizing me while I like purchased it. And the countertop where I went to like pay the lady was gleaming and it twinkled in the lights. And it was just, it was so pretty. It was so much fun. So there was a practice of appreciation. I wasn't comparing the time that I bought this bracelet to anything else. I wasn't like talking about all the things that I moved past. Now, you did hear me talk a little bit about the memory of money because that was part of this story, right? I don't try and dump what's not high vibe all the time. Like, we're human, we get to have those moments. And if you speak it honestly about those moments where, you know, maybe there was a little energy behind what was going on, it feels expressed, it feels acknowledged, and it moves on, and you can shift right back into that energy of appreciation. Dear God, do not go out and dust your entire house. Oh my goodness, like unless that totally lights you up and you love doing that, that will turn this practice into like a chore. No, no, no. One thing, just pick one thing, polish it and appreciate it. And if you want to turn this into a daily practice or something that you reach for anytime you need like a hit of good feelings, that's amazing. But just polishing and appreciating one thing will shift you into a cleaner energy, into a higher vibe energy, and into that like hard to understand energy of appreciation without a whole lot of work. Just cleanse it with a little salt, wake it up with your hands, and then speak about the things that you like about the thing, speak about the memories you have associated with it, and it will shift you into appreciation. This was a lot. Today was heavy. Holy crap, we went super deep. There's so much more here. I could probably rattle on for another 2 hours, like talking about different ways that you can manipulate this practice, that you can extrapolate it, that you can apply it to other things. Just know that like anything goes. You will always do this right. The important thing is to do it, right? Do the work. It's amazing. It will shift everything. And if you have questions, hit me up in the comments, hit me up in the DMs. Remember that on Friday at noon Eastern, Friday, December 24th, 2021, we are going to have a live Q&A. You can bring your questions if you want to hear more about this practice, more about how to extrapolate this, if you want to hear about altars, if you want to hear like what the next level things are to bring to this practice, by all means, come to the call. I'm going to be there in person. You'll get the link in your email. I adore you all. You are doing this perfectly. Can you feel how powerful this week has been? It has been mind-blowing for me to sit here and watch you go through this journey and find your path and find your way and find your practices. This is beautiful. You are beautiful. You are doing this perfectly. You can manifest absolutely anything. I adore you.